We're back with another singing time, and I thought we'd come back to the primary room so you guys could see the primary room. And I wore some of my music clothes today, my singing time clothes. I have this music tie that I got for Christmas, and I have some music socks too that I got for Christmas. Pretty cool, huh? So I thought those would be good for singing time. So for the month of January, we're going to learn a little bit about family history, and we're going to learn a family history song. And then we're also going to learn about Joseph Smith and the vision that he had. And actually throughout this entire year, we're going to be focusing on Joseph Smith and the restoration. So those are the two songs I'm going to teach you that you can try to learn this month. So let's start with the family history song. Family history, I am doing it. Family history, I am doing it. My family history. And the love I feel when I'm doing it is very sweet to me. Okay, so what is family history? Before we finish learning this whole song, what is family history? Well, that's when we learn about our ancestors, our even our grandparents and our great-grandparents and our great-great-grandparents and even great-great uncles and aunts and all those ancestors. So that's family history. And in the song it says, and the love I feel when I'm doing it is very sweet to me. So you can feel a special love when you're doing family history. I learned stories of my progenitors. I write progenitors? What is that? Stories of my progenitors. Stories of my progenitors. What is that word? Does anybody know? Well, progenitors is just another word for ancestors. Okay? Our ancestors, our great-grandparents, our great-great cousins and uncles and aunts and all those people. So that's progenitors. I learned stories of my progenitors. I write their history. Did you know you can help write their history? I'm going to teach you about that here in just a minute. I keep records of my love. Records. What are records? Well, I have a record right here. Look at that. This is a record. You guys ever seen one of these before? Well, that's not the type of record we're talking about, though. A lot of people hear the word record and they think of these, yeah? Well, this is a different type of record. When we talk about records with family history, we're talking about information. Information that we store away, like in a filing cabinet. Maybe your parents have a filing cabinet at home, okay? And they can keep records in there. So we do that with family history, but we keep it on our computers too. We can keep many records and files and information on our computers. So let's see here. We learned about our progenitors. Let's go back to that part. I learned stories of my progenitors. I write their history. I keep records of my loved ones on my own family tree. Wow, what's that? Is that like a tree outside your family climbs in? Goes climbing in the tree? Well, no, a family tree looks like this. I'll show you on my computer. There it is. There's my family tree. We also call this a fan chart. But that's my family tree. You can see my name right there, David Felt Jordan. And then my mom and my dad. And then my grandma and grandpa on my mom's side, my grandma and grandpa on my dad's side, and then great grandmas and grandpas, and great great grandmas and grandpas. So, the other cool thing about this, and your parents can probably help you look this up. There's an app for this, or you can also find this at familysearch.org. And you can look up your family history and see who your progenitors are. The other cool thing about this is you can click on different people. Here I am back at home. I wanted to show you more about this family history app. And I can click on any of my ancestors here. And if people have put things in about them, it'll show some photographs and stories. So I'm going to click on memories. And let's see what we have here. Look at that. See, we've got all these photos of my great grandmother. And she's with some other family members as well, it looks like. And some of these I can click on and read stories about her. Let's try another one. Yeah, let's go over here. David Abraham Jordan. I was named after my great-grandfather, David. Look at that. This was a long time ago. He was born in 1856. And died in 1912. And it's amazing that we even have any photographs at all. But there's this one. This is a famous photograph from my family history. Many of my ancestors are in this photograph. I think that one is David Abraham. Right there. And then there's many others. Okay, here's something else you can do. Right now I have 5 generations showing, and I can go up here. Let's do 7 generations. Watch what happens. Woo-wee, look at that. Look how many there are now. Look at all these ancestors. There's so many. Now, I want to show you guys something kind of cool. Look at this. Right here. You see that? Hiram Smith, and Mary Fielding was his wife. Hiram Smith, that's the brother of Joseph Smith. So he's one of my direct ancestors or progenitors. Pretty cool, huh? And then one other way you can look at this, I'll just show you real quick. This is, you remember I told you this is called a fan chart. We can also look at it like this. And this is more in the tree style. Remember we talked about family trees? So it looks like this. So here's me and my wife, and my parents, and then it just keeps going. Then you can click on these arrows, and then the family tree will just keep growing and growing. And then there's just more and more arrows. I'm just going to click on random arrows, but it just keeps going and going. Look at that. Pretty cool, huh? I'm back in the 1700s now, and I could go back even further. Okay, just one more thing I'll show you. I can also click on portrait, and it's just going to change the way it looks. So now it looks even more like a tree when it goes this way. So there's me and my wife and my parents and my grandparents, and now it's growing up like a tree. So that's why we call it a family tree. Oh, there we go. We can make it. Let's see there. So when it says in the song, stories of your progenitors, I bet you guys could find some stories. And you can also write your own stories about your grandparents, which is really cool. So let's try this again. Family history, I am doing it. Family history, I am doing it. My family history. And the love I feel when I'm doing it is very sweet to me. I learn stories of my progenitors. I write their history. I keep records. Remember the records of my loved ones on my own family tree. Remember the family tree that we learned about? And then if you want to learn the second verse, I'll play and sing that one as well. Now I'm going to do this one just a little bit slower. Family living now, and the ones who died can all be sealed to me. And someday I'll meet every one of them, I'm sure as I can be. Oh, what joy we'll have when they say to me, we're all the family. I am yours and you are mine now, through all eternity. So the second verse talks about being sealed to your ancestors, and that happens in the temple. And that when we die, we can all be together again. So that's a really neat verse. The first verse is just kind of fun and upbeat, and then the second verse is a little more reverent. Okay, have fun doing that. I hope you can get on your family history and look into that a little bit and learn that fun song. Bye-bye.